Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social. This is your boy Maz and Ben. Ben, how are
Alright,
thee
mum.
today?
Good, mate. Tired. Just got back from a run. Just trying to get back into it, mate, because I've been slacking. Do you remember the good old days in January when I was doing 75 hard? It's just been
Yeah,
so downhill after I failed that. But yeah, trying to get back into it. A little bit of rosy cheeks. But so have you, Maz. Where have you been today?
yeah, I know. I caught the sun, mate. Yeah, I was on a shoot today.
The Iranian has
A
caught
fun.
the sun.
I know, mental, mate. Yeah, I was on a fun shoot today. Actually, it was like a 20 football fans from each club in the Premier League. Yeah, I don't know how much I can go into detail because I think it's like not. Don't know when it's going out, but yeah, should
Mm.
be a really fun video. Should be coming out. But yeah, just quickly, anyone who's tuned in, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. If we do dip out or there's some kind of like lags or a little bit of connection issues, we do apologise. It's probably my internet, not Ben's. And yeah, just bear with us. We'll be here basically. So just yeah, send in any questions. Let us know anything you want to know. But we are going to be covering various topics today. Obviously, the Van Heck news that potentially he will be leaving, which
No.
I don't believe, but we're going to get into it. We have got a new set piece coach, Ben. We've just signed from Anderlecht. And yeah, lots of questions have been sent in on Instagram and Twitter. So we're going to be answering all those and hopefully have a great bloody time. Does
Two
that sound
lives
good,
in the
everyone?
space of what? 5 days? When
I
was the last
know.
time we done it? Wednesday was it?
Are we
Wednesday?
feeling okay? I think literally it was like 6 days ago,
Actually,
yeah.
yeah, 6 days ago. Yeah, wow. Are we well? And back to
Mad.
back from Ben. Well, I feel like it's been a few in a row
Yeah,
now, which is good. It's actually Jack who's taken my trophy for the worst attendee. Oh, we've got
correct.
the
Yeah, was he?
red arrows flying
He's in
past today.
Accrington. Nice. But apparently he's in Accrington. He wanted us to tell you that he's in Accrington for some reason. Don't know whether it's true or not, but
I thought he said he was going on
that's what he
holiday,
told
unless
us.
the holiday is Accrington.
Yeah, maybe he's taking the mic. Maybe he was on holiday and he's actually not in Accrington.
Yeah,
But let's just go with Accrington
maybe.
because that
Yeah,
sounds
let's do
more
it.
Jack Albion, to be
That
fair.
does sound very Jack Albion.
So yeah, probably like a non-league game or something like that. But right, Ben, let's get into it. Some shock news actually. It took me by surprise a little bit. So let's start at the beginning because what happened was Jan Paul Van Hecke was offered a new deal. I don't know whether it was 2 years. He obviously got 2 years left on his contract now, but he got offered a new deal which he rejected. Apparently, Brighton were willing to make him one of the top earners at the club, and make him commit to his future to the club, but he rejected it. Now, since then, there's also been talks that he's been linked with various clubs, namely Spurs and Newcastle. And then I've seen a couple of other links, but they're all tentative, so I'm not 100%
Man
sure.
United, but
Also got the
everyone
Coppers.
been linked with the police as
Yeah,
well. Metropolitan Police, big signing. But no, I think he got linked with United as well. But I mean, everyone gets linked with United these days, don't they? Even my nan
yeah,
gets linked with United.
exactly. No, exactly. So yeah, we don't know what's true. But Ben, first of all, start me off. Were you surprised that yeah, Van Heck did reject the contract offered by Brighton? Because I'm assuming it would have been a decent little pay rise, and
Mm.
yeah, committing his future to the club.
It's interesting. Yeah, that definitely did take me by surprise. I thought we were going to have a pretty successful transfer window. No big names heading out or anything like that. Obviously, João Pedro, but that was because of a bust up with Van Heck. So it was like, you know what, we've got rid of João Pedro for you, mate. At least stay. And now it looks like he wants to bugger off anyway. So we could have just kept João Pedro after all. But hopefully his mind will be changed eventually. But yeah, that definitely caught me by surprise. It'd be interesting to know what's in that contract. Is it an Alexis McAllister contract that says, look, we want you for an extra year, help us get Europe, and then you can go get a release clause in there. So fingers crossed that he does stay. And yeah, I mean, it looks like if he does stay, we could be losing Van Heck and Balewa next year if we're looking that far ahead. So that will be two big players to replace eventually, unless we think we've already got them here. We obviously last week we spoke about Yao Kuye potentially being a Balewa replacement, but I thought we had our defence well. It's looking good going into season now, but it's a worrying time really. Hopefully he will stay.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was really taken aback by it. I wasn't expecting. Like you say, I agree with you. I think it was like one of those windows where you're like, oh, finally, looks like we've got a bit of stability. Majority of the big players are staying. Like you said, with the exception of João Pedro, it looks like we're not losing too many key players. And then, bam, out of nowhere, Van Heck's linked with a move away. So yeah, it really took me by surprise, and I was a bit upset to be honest, because yeah, you don't want. It's the curse of the was it Player of the Year award. It seems
Yeah.
like we're just cursed with whoever wins it decides they're no longer wanting to play for us anymore, which is just classic Brighton, really, isn't it? But yeah, it's interesting the clubs he's been linked to. So let's start with Spurs. Spurs obviously got Mickey van der Ven and Romero at centre back.
Danzo.
Now,
They've got that new, really
yep,
tall, like
Danso,
6'9"
yeah.
fella as well. I feel like we're missing one more, potentially not. But they're actually looking to loan that big fella out. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know
Look at the
where
size of that Fuka.
Mate, he's huge. He's a big boy. Apparently, he's quite good as well. Well, it's all hearsay, but yeah, he looks like he could be a decent centre back. Maybe when he does start playing for him, but I don't know. Where does? Yeah, I can't really see him fitting into Spurs. Does Spurs need him with those three that we've mentioned, and maybe a fourth that way?
That's the thing.
We are missing.
Yeah, it's a very strange one with the Spurs links because, yeah, like you say, they're pretty well covered in that. Unless Romero's out the door, he's been linked away. So that could be potentially, if Romero leaves, does Van Hecke come in to replace him? And then the other team, of course, is Newcastle. Now, they've had a terrible window so far. I know they're in a bidding war with Seagulls, with Man United, so they're trying to sign him. Now, defensively speaking, they've also been linked with Mark Gahey as well. And they've currently got, was it Sven Botman? Who else? My brain.
Who else plays centre back? Shaw. They've got Shaw.
Oh yeah, Fabian Shaw.
Dan
Yeah.
Burn obviously plays left back. Doesn't really play centre back.
Mm.
Well, how are we missing players? Who else plays for them? So we said Shaw. We said
For some reason, yeah, Lascelles just pops up, but he's not there anymore. I'm pretty sure he's gone.
Newcastle.
But yeah, anyway, they are more
clearly they
likely
do,
in
because
need.
that's
Yeah,
all
because we
think
can't.
of.
Exactly, we can't think of them, so they must really need a centre back. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it is
with regards to Newcastle, obviously Botman's been injured a lot recently, especially the back end of last season. He didn't play at all, and so I could see him definitely fitting in there. But again, when we talk about fees, Ben, for either of those clubs, if Spurs and Newcastle come in and be like, we actually want to sign Van Hecke, what is an acceptable fee in your eyes?
So I just want to confirm, if anyone wondering as well, it is literally Sven Botman, Shaw, Dan Burn, but he plays left back, and Lascelles. That's legit. He's still there, captain.
Lascelles is still there.
Yeah, so
wow.
they obviously are in dire need of.
They
a
are
centre-back,
desperate,
so it makes
yeah.
sense.
Mm.
And
But yeah, how much would
saying?
you want?
Oh, how much would I want? I mean, you might crucify me in the chat, but I know some Premier League fans don't think that he's that outstanding as we rate him, which is fine by me. But as long as we think he's probably worth a lot more than other people do, which is a bit annoying. Maybe you'd be looking at 45 for Van Hecke potentially. Is that really low? I feel like that's probably a fair.
I feel like
assumption.
that's low. I feel like that's low.
How much do you think?
I don't know. I personally, if it was down to me, I would be looking like 60, 70, I think. But that seems a lot. When I say out loud,
Are we looking at his
that
price
does
tag? Are we
sound-
thinking like, are we also putting in factors like we really want to keep him because we don't have that many centre backs to choose from as well? If that is the case, then
Yeah.
we don't need to. Do we? No, we don't need to sell him.
I think realistically,
What am I trying to say here?
50 million. 50 million is the bottom line for me. I think anything less than 50, for me, would feel like a massive steal for a lot of clubs. Because he's what, 24? He's still not even like in his prime years. He's still got so much more to give. You can see how important he is to us, to how we play. He's a leader as well. He's shown that on many occasions. You know, he's a winner. You've seen it from all like the behind the scenes videos. He wants to win. He's a key figure in the changing room. So to lose that for anything less than 50, even that is, I don't know. I'm really battling in my head between
a lot of the
sort
comments say
50
50 to
60.
55. To be fair, yeah.
Yeah, I think
ALAL
anything
here
less
as
than
well.
that.
Ryan Gloria said 50 to 55.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think 50 to 60 is about fair. I think.
But
for
we don't
Van
want to
Hecke.
sell him. Let's get that straight.
No.
Even
let's
if
talk
60
about
does
that
come
because
in, I really don't. If we lose him, then I don't know. We're really screwed at centre back. I mean, Coppola. I mean, maybe I'm reading into it too much. He's got quite a high number. I think he got given the 42, but he did say it's because he likes Yaya Toure. But does that mean that he's maybe not the centre back that we think he's going to be this season? Baskagli is obviously a good centre back, but obviously we haven't seen him play in the Premier League yet. Dunk's there, of course, but didn't have the best of seasons last season. We got Adam Webster injured for a long period of time. Igor as well is a kind of injury prone and looked like he's on his way out as well. So options wise, centre back. If we lose Van Hecke as well, we're going to have to try and replace him straight away before the season starts, obviously, as quick as possible.
Well, that was actually a question someone asked.
We know that there's going to be players on the or short list of players that we will go for if he does leave. Like they're planned for this, they're prepared for this sort of stuff.
Well, that was actually a question someone asked. Actually, one of the questions that was sent in. I don't know who by, but I will check that in a minute. Yeah, someone sent in saying, if he was to leave, do you think the club will replace him in this window? Now, I'm a bit torn. I get what you're saying in terms of the squad depth, because we've lost Webster now. Igor obviously had his injury problems and he's on his way back, and he looked like he was out the door. Does Boscagli, Coppola, and Dunk warrant, if that's just the three centre backs that we have, does that warrant not going into the market? Now, my initial answer is we should go into the market if Van Hecke leaves, sorry. But at the same time, does that then give Coppola the opportunity to go in or Boscagli, go in from the off alongside maybe Dunk, or, basically does that free open a position for one of those two to really flourish? And then, because if then you bring another centre back in to replace Van Hecke, do you then stifle Boscagli and Coppola's chances? Because it looks like we're going to play a two centre backs, don't we? So that's my big question: is do you hinder their progression if you bring in another player for Van Hecke? But I suppose you're in the same situation now with Van Hecke being there. So I don't know.
Coppola's got a little bit of time before he does break in. I could be proven wrong, obviously, but I did see we were linked with that Jeremy Jacket from Rennes. His dad Puffer will be so proud if he does get moved to the Premier League.
Sorry about this, guys.
If anyone's seen that trend on Twitter, it's fantastic. But yeah, and he obviously seems like a pretty big talent, linked with Arsenal. I think he's linked with Liverpool today as well. A lot of Premier League clubs are circling around him, so he's obviously a decent talent. I don't really know too much about him, I'm going to be completely honest, but maybe that would be a centre back that we do look to get if he doesn't go to Arsenal. So yeah, I mean, then just you don't really know what level that jacket, the jacket guy is at, So he's obviously not going to be at Van Hecke's level straight away. So then we're not improving in that situation. You would want a player of a similar ability to Van Hecke, if not better, when you're replacing him. So to then get a player that's not at Van Hecke's level would be pretty disappointing, wouldn't it? Because you're not exactly strengthening the defence, because we need to strengthen it as it is already.
No, 100%. Yeah, it's a weird one. If he was to go, my initial gut reaction would be yes, go out in the window, get someone ready-made replacement. But it's not what we do, though, is it? We don't usually buy, apart from Boscagli this season, we don't usually buy someone like ready here and now. It's someone that's 19, 18, ready for 5 years time, where we're going to sell him for a profit. So it doesn't really work with our model. But it'll be interesting to see. Fingers crossed, like you said, Ben. We don't want him to go. But if Van Hecke was to leave, Ben, my final question on this: what would we miss from Van Hecke? What qualities do you think we'll miss? I've mentioned a few already, but what would you miss from him?
I feel like he's a good leader on the pitch. Everyone always said he was the future captain of the club. So to lose that sort of player would be devastating. He leads the team, and even though he's probably one of the younger players I see. Well, compared to other centre backs in our team, when Dunk's not there, he almost fills that role, doesn't he? So we're missing a future captain if he does leave. Unfortunately, he's obviously an unbelievable player. He's a bit big and heavy in the challenges, but also is great on the ball as well. So passing ability wise, that would be a huge miss.
I was going to say, talking about passing, I think I saw something yesterday about his progressive passing I think it's from his own half into the final third, and he's up there with some of the best in the league. So in terms of his progressive passes, he's right up there, which is a huge thing for us, especially the way we want to play, especially under Herzler, and how he wants the system to work. He is huge, and he's pivotal to that. So I think to lose that, and someone who now knows the club, gets it, basically all the factors that come a part and parcel of losing a big player, I think it will be a huge miss. But fingers crossed, it's all just paper talk. He stays for at least another season. See where we're at the end of the season.
We don't have to sell.
We don't have to sell. But yeah, fingers crossed it is just absolute BS and he does stay. And fingers crossed, if we have a good season, if we do get Europe in some capacity, that might be the motivation for him to give us another year, and then sort of just keep him for another year, just every time, just reeling him.
But I feel like it'd be quite out of character if he does throw his toys out of the pram and force a move out. Don't you think? It's not. It doesn't really seem like he's the type of player to.
No, I can't see that happening.
He would leave respectfully. I mean, we say that, but you never really know. If he's turning down contracts right now, he's not looking good.
The turning down the contract was a bit of a shock, but I do get it. I do understand. If you look at Newcastle and Spurs, both in the Champions League, both can pay way bigger wages than us, and you know it is the big six cartel. You know what I mean? They can lure players in that we can't really offer what they can. So I do completely get it from his perspective. At the same time, it's like this happens every season. Boys, just give us a season, give us a couple of seasons where we can just keep the team together. It'll be nice to see what they can actually achieve
Would be nice,
when they don't get
it will
absolutely
never
ripped
happen.
apart. No, it will never happen, unfortunately, with the way we run. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. We've all accepted that now. But yeah, to summarise, Ben, yeah, hopefully he doesn't leave. Big player. Fingers crossed we keep him for at least this season. And then, yeah, see where we're at the end of the season. I think he'll have a year to go once this season comes to an end on his contract. And then, yeah, it's pretty much you've either got to be really stubborn, keep him and let him go on a free, or you cash in and try
Maybe
and get
we
as
give
much
him
as you
that
can.
Alexis type contract where he will get a release clause that he's happy with, and that way he can go in the summer, next summer.
Yeah. Yeah. And we get paid, which is,
We get money
you
from
know,
it, essentially.
yeah, exactly. All parties are happy. Exactly. And then another big part, some news, Ben. We actually appointed a new set piece coach today,
Thank God for that.
which was
Christ.
Fabian Herzl was actually talking about how he was really keen to make sure that happens as soon as possible, and that has now happened. So Yannick Ouvrard from Anderlecht, he's a
Whoa.
39-year-old,
Pronunciation,
and
Maz, fair play.
well, yeah, I try. I don't know if I've said it right to be honest, but we're
I
here
got
now.
you in French,
And
but it sounds good.
he actually worked on set pieces as part of the data analysis and performance team, which is, I think, very interesting considering, again, the model we employ is very data driven, very analytical. So that fits in really well. Also, interestingly, Ben, he is taking over, was it Marco Noop, who did just the defensive set pieces, and Jonas Schumann did the offensive end. Now, what Ouvrard is doing, he's doing both. So he's doing both the defensive and offensive set piece coaching, which is interesting, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He was also part of the Belgium team at the 2021 Euros and the World Cup in Qatar. So he's got international experience as well. And yeah, I think Herzl is very happy with him. And a final thing from me, Ben, before I let you chat. Fred, BHAFC, pulled up some interesting stats. He pulled up his Anderlecht set piece from open play and set pieces, free kicks, etc., and how many goals they've scored from 2023 to 2025. And in his first season, they scored 10 set pieces, 51 from open play. And then in their second season, 38 from open play and 12 set pieces, which I think is pretty good considering, you know, to score, over 10 in both seasons.
10 more than we
So,
ever
yeah,
did.
really interesting. Exactly. So it seems like an improvement. Yeah, how good is that? I know Herzl was really keen to get someone in ASAP, and he has done that now. Yeah, how important is that going to be now going into next season?
Oh, it's massively important. Just look at how good Arsenal were from them, and the goals you can score from them are obviously going to win games. Imagine we had 10 more goals last season, it would be a lot more points, and we would have broken into that Conference League spot eventually, which would have been great, or sorry, even above. But do you not remember when we got Herzl and we thought, oh, he's incredible set pieces as well? We thought that's going to be a great string to our bow, and we just never really saw that. So I'm not going to get my hopes up, but if Herzl is thinking that he needs to make a change, and hopefully it does pay off, because yeah, set pieces are so key now, and we've got some big defenders. So I saw someone saying Coppola's going to score double figures with that long neck of his. So if we can put a ball in his head, then we should be fine. But yeah, we've got a few big lads now. If we're looking at Weaver's playing right back, that's another big person, a big presence in the box. De Kuyper's not the smallest, unless he's going to be on set pieces, because he's obviously got great delivery. So yeah, it feels like we've got almost building that an Arsenal type defence that can probably cause problems at set pieces. So yeah, fingers crossed it does pay off. But I'm not getting my hopes up, simply because of we got hopes up when Herzl joined, and we didn't see any set piece goals really last season, did we?
No, you're right. And interesting, you mentioned Coppola, because he actually came out. Brian Owen did a report on it. It was Diego Coppola would love to add more set piece goals after his early impact for Albion. So yeah, he's got his eye on scoring more from set pieces. So hopefully the set piece coach can come in and make that a reality, I suppose. So Coppola being that big man, and obviously Van Hecke is a huge presence. Biscagli is quite a big lad. He said Weaver. Yeah, we got some big boys now in the squad, so fingers crossed we can utilise that. And also, I thought it was quite funny. Someone, Al AI, our best mate, said, "Don't you think he looks a bit like Pascal Gross?" And do you know what? If you
Does
Google
he?
him, he does look like him. Yeah. So great shout, big AI Al for that. So yeah, interesting. Set pieces is going to be key for us, I think, going into next season. So yeah, fingers crossed we can make the most of it. And then final thing, what was it we were going to talk about? Oh yeah, Ben wanted to talk about the new squad numbers because he's very
Yeah,
excited about the new squad numbers. So
we love
Ben,
squad
over
numbers.
to you, mate.
I say we do. I've always loved this sort of stuff. Like it's always one of the best parts of the season when you start a new FM save, you upgrade people's numbers, the OCD kicks in, and it's great. So we're gonna go through them. Obviously, there are a few big changes. Probably, I feel like in recent seasons, this has probably been the one that's been a lot of changes compared to most. Usually, maybe it's because we've got so many new players, and it's just been quite a lot of new number
Yeah,
changes. So
and swaps, as in like other players taking other
yeah,
players' shirts, etc.
so the first change, I don't know if you can hear a party in my room. Someone's kicking off here, which is fantastic. Great timing. Number 6 is Van Heck. He swapped with James Milner. Is that, when did they agree that? Was that after he's rejected this contract, or have the club kind of said,
Well,
look,
I think it was
here's a big
mainly
number
because
6?
of, but wasn't it mainly because Milner wanted it for Diego Jota?
I think, yeah. Well, they've obviously swapped, but I mean, it's still quite a big number, and hopefully it will. Maybe I don't know how much this plays on footballers' minds. I know some people really care about it, but if you're thinking, right, I'm the number 6 here, and saw the video of Donkey being like number 5, number 6, they had a little bit of banter about it. So maybe Van Heck will be looking to, well, even more happy to stay. He's got a big important number of the squad. March is still number 7. I'm sure that will get taken off him soon, maybe. Gruder number 8. There'll be a big season for him. Still number 8. This is the biggest one for me so far. Simas, not the more
Yeah,
expensive Greek
the
fella.
big number 9.
The cheaper one has been given number 9. I don't know why
Mm.
Danny Welbeck hasn't gone for that, because I feel like he's going to be our starting number 9, really, isn't he? So the fact that Zimas has now got it, I mean, hopefully he can perform like a Premier League number 9, because he hasn't come from a Premier League level, has he, or anywhere near that in terms of the league quality that he's come from. So yeah, big shirt number, and I wonder how that conversation went with Barbis, who was obviously the other striker that's come in, who's got the number 19, which Adam mentioned in his video. I'm very similar. When you do FM, you have your number one striker's number 9, and your number 2 striker's normally number 19. And yeah, Barbis has got number 19, I'm pretty sure. Yes, he does. Costulas. Jorginho, Rutter, number 10. That's good, Maz, isn't it? Come on,
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
I was
That number.
very happy. Yeah, I was very happy for Jorginho. It's a big number. Obviously, taking it off João Pedro as well. Yeah, it was beautiful to see.
I want to get your opinion on the Simas though, number 9. What are your thoughts on that? Is that, yeah? Why do you think there's a lot of pressure now on him to perform?
Look, I agree with you to an extent. I'm not a massive, like, I don't read too much into numbers. I'm not that guy, but I do get it. Number 9 is a very symbolic, huge number to have, and it does add a pressure, especially certain numbers at certain clubs mean more than others. For example, the 14 at Arsenal when you get given that, or like the 10 at Barcelona for Messi, etc., etc. I do get it. It does hold a bit of weight. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't think it'll bring pressure on him. I don't know. I feel like with both of the Greek lads, they seem quite, yeah, they seem quite level headed. They seem quite feet on the ground kind of vibes. I can't see that sort of being him like, oh yeah, I'm number 9, I'm the bollocks. If anything, I think it'll give him a bit of a confidence boost. Like, oh, the club trusts me with the number 9. Let me go and repay that faith. But I do agree with you in terms of Danny Welbeck potentially taking that number 9. He probably was given it as an offer, like you can take it, but he just for whatever reason was like, nah, I'm happy with.
Maybe likes the
So
18.
he's
It's working for him
changing.
at Brighton.
Yeah,
He's having one of his best spells in his career at a club. In terms of injuries as well.
exactly.
He's obviously loving life here. He probably doesn't want to change anything that could. I know numbers don't change anything, but it's one of those things, isn't it? You think if you make one minor
Yeah,
change to your
superstitious
life,
potentially.
yeah, very superstitious, aren't they, footballers anyway? Minter's number 11. I like that. He's gone from 17 to 11.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a massive season for us, Maz, don't you? Oh, he's taking a big
Oh,
swig here.
absolutely. Yeah, even Southampton game, like, yeah, he's scoring his 2 goals. I was so excited by him last season, and I was like, this isn't even his like final form and anything near it. I always knew that he could go up levels and levels and levels. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how he gets on this season. I think he could be a huge player. One thing I actually did want to talk about we'll talk about after you've done your numbers, was actually the squad depth, because I've seen someone made a really good point with Mitoma being our sort of like only left winger, and does Minter then potentially have to, like, let's say Mitoma got injured, would he have to then go to the left, and then
Does
who would
Watson
come in on
not
the
play on
right?
the
So
left?
he does, but we haven't seen him yet. And like, is he gonna again? Is he gonna be ready? Is he same with Costellas and Simas? We haven't seen them play yet, and it's like, are these players going to be ready for the first half of the season? Potentially, like, is he just going to let them gel in and embed until January? I don't know. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that transpires. But yeah, carry on with
I'm
your
not going
number
to skip
changes, Ben.
Hinchwood number 13, but because you mentioned Watson, he's number 14. Is that, again, quite a low number? Pretty big number if you talk about Premier League history of 14 of Thierry Henry. If that means anything to you, does that mean that he will be playing a big part this season, though, with a number like that, 14? Because usually when we have these young wingers, they get something maybe like the late 20s, 30s. So number 14 is a pretty strong number to get.
Yeah. I can see him being a part of the squad, like not coming on kind of vibes at the beginning, and then I think slowly towards January time, maybe December, early December, we might see him starting a couple of games here and there, potentially coming off the bench, making an impact if he can show what he can do, and if he is good enough at this level, because it's a big jump, isn't it, from the Championship? I know he scored that winning goal in the playoff final, but it's a huge step up for him. And it'll be interesting to see how he does develop. And like I said, we haven't seen him in pre-season yet, so we can't really judge him yet. Maybe he'll maybe feature against Wolfsburg. I think that's the last opportunity he'll have before the season starts. So yeah, it's a tough one to call right now because I haven't seen much of him. But yeah, like you say, if he's been given that number, most likely they do envisage him playing a part at some point. So it's just a matter of when with him.
According to Dragon Talks Football, Costellas can also play on the wing. He can play wide, so maybe we're seeing him and Simas both on the bench, not just one striker. And yeah, Costellas can do it all. So that'd be good. That'd be very handy. We like versatile players here at Brighton. Speaking of versatile players, Jack Hinshelwood. This is so sick. He's taken the number 13. I think he said he asked Pascal Gross if it would be okay, and he's taken it.
I saw that, yeah.
He's always said that he's looked up to him, and to carry that kit number is unreal, I think. Yeah, a special number now, all of a sudden, at Brighton. I think 13 is going to be iconic for quite a long time, like we have with 25 with Bobby Zamora. 13 now is a legendary number at Brighton. And were you surprised that he took the 13? Because I definitely didn't see that coming.
No, same. I didn't see it coming. And look, going back on what I said earlier about like I'm not being much of an, I don't read too much into numbers. Yeah, that was actually quite an interesting one.
Obviously.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like you said, taking it off Pascal Gross, even calling him up and being like, "Am I okay to take it?" kind of vibes. I thought that was really cool from Jack Intrude. And Jack, like he's just such a nice bloke. Like he just comes across like such a humble, down to earth, lovely bloke. And yeah, I couldn't think of anyone better to wear Pascal's shirt. And if he can have half the output of Pascal Gross, I'll be more than happy. But hopefully that does mean that what I just want from Jack, and it's sort of going off the number vibes, but I just want to see him in his natural position, whatever that he feels is his best position. If that is centre midfield, if that is at right back, or wherever he feels most comfortable, I want him to play there because I want him to be able to show what he's all about rather than being shoehorned into a position where he's not all that comfortable, but he's doing it because, again, he doesn't like to kick up a fuss. He's happy with it. He just wants to play. And that's great. That's all great. But at the same time, you want to play in your most natural and best position to show what you can do. So hopefully with this 13, it means he's going to play him, centre midfield or, thereabouts.
Well, we also saw Gross do a few shifts at fullback, so I'm sure we'll probably.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. Pascal was also a utility man in some respects. So yeah. The omens are very much going that way with him. Yeah, he's wearing the 13 as well.
Let's just come to terms that we will be seeing Hinshelwood and Weaver playing fullback this season, I think, unfortunately. Belaber's taken number 17 in the video. He's obviously gone from 20 to 17. In the video, he said his mum saw him score his first goal when he was wearing number 17 in professional football. So
for Cameroon, right?
Yeah, so a sentimental one for Belaber. Welbeck 18.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Costellas 19. We've already kind of covered that. This one, James Milner taking number 20. That was special. That is such a sick thing, and that kind of just epitomises the man that James Milner is. James Milner is, isn't he? Really? So, to kind of look ahead in the season and think, right, I want to carry that shirt for him and do it proud. It's, a special thing that he's doing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's, it just speaks volumes, like you said, about the kind of guy he is. And he said that it was the first thing he thought, when he heard about the passing of Diego, that he wanted to take it. And yeah, I think it's such a really, really nice sentiment and a touching tribute to what was a really, really sad, a sad thing that happened in football that shocked the whole world, I think, in terms of the football world.
Like, that's actually happened.
Yeah.
It's
insane.
insane.
It's insane. So yeah, no, really, really special touch from Milner, and fingers crossed we can see a bit more of him because obviously we didn't
Mm.
see much of him at all last season. I think it was an Everton game, or maybe twice, once or twice we saw him. So yeah, fingers crossed he can play a part because I think Herzler really rates him in the sense of not only on the pitch but off the pitch. So yeah, I think if he's fit, we might be seeing a lot more of him.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, maybe hopefully in centre mid as well, because fullback we saw him get caught out a few times as well during his Brighton tenure. But Skagli taking 21. I think he said he didn't have really too many options, but his daughter was born on the 21st of March, so a bit of a
Yeah.
sentimental one there. Matoma 22, of course, still 23. Kalioglu 24. Any other changes we've got here? De Kuiper, I think it was 40. Was he 40, 55 or was he 44? Bruges, I can't remember, but he's taken 29.
I don't know.
Um, yeah, I can't really remember. And Ciso 31, obviously looked like he's lost his number 10, which he obviously took off McAllister. But yeah, Ciso 31, which obviously shows he hasn't really got too much of a future at the club. Salmian to 32, probably going to see him leaving this window as well, sadly. Just hasn't worked out for either of them, really. O'Reilly 33, linked with Juventus recently as well. There's still a few Serie A clubs that I've been tapping or seeing if he's interested in joining them. I hope he stays because he looked good. He's looked good in pre-season. Any
Mm.
other ones of note? Not really. A couple of them 42 because he said he liked Yaya Toure. So that pretty much covers it in the kit numbers. Thank you for letting me
Yeah.
do that segment. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Or was it just my ADHD? Not ADHD, my OCD of kit numbers taken over, basically.
No, I liked it. I
Good.
liked it. It was actually quite good because it actually gave us a few talking points actually. So yeah, no, it was good. Talking of Buonanotte as well, actually, someone did say in the chat that they don't want to see him leave. Let's quickly
I
talk about
don't.
that because yeah, he's been linked. Also, one of the questions was actually, would you keep, loan, or sell Buonanotte? And let's start there, shall we, Ben? What would you do in this situation? Because obviously he's been linked with big clubs,
Mm.
Dortmund namely, but I think his ceiling's huge, and I think it'd be a massive, massive shame to see him go. But we are so like just outnumbered with players in that
Mm.
position. So yeah, it's a tough one, really, isn't it?
It's obviously he's really good in number 10. I think he played wide quite a bit as well on loan at Leicester, but he's not going to be competing with any of the wingers that we've got. And as a number 10, is he strong enough in this league? That's probably my only question mark around him. I feel like he probably would be a lot better in a league abroad. Germany would be pretty interesting for him. But in terms of the original question, I probably want to see him. I'd love to see him stay, obviously, but in terms of this season, maybe one loan. And let's see what he'd get. If Borussia Dortmund can get him on loan, that I feel like would be great. But it looks like they will actually want him on a permanent basis, which would be pretty sad to see him go because yeah, we thought he was the next Lionel Messi, or we were promised that he was the next Lionel Messi, weren't we? Because I think Carlos Tevez said that he saw more ability in Buonanotte at his
Mm.
age than he did in Messi. So pretty huge
Yeah,
words.
well,
Unfortunately, just he hasn't really had that break in the Brighton team. Obviously, he's played a few times. We've seen some
yeah.
wonderful moments from him, but nothing consistent, which is obviously what you need.
But it's the thing. I feel like whenever he's played for us, he's been good. When he was at Leicester, he was one of their shining lights when played because you got to remember Van Nistelrooy for some reason didn't really rate him that much. But maybe again that's something we might not see as fans. Maybe coaches see something that we don't. Hence why he wasn't a week in week starter at Brighton. He wasn't a week in week out starter at Leicester. Is it something we're not seeing in training, for example? But I felt like whenever he did get the opportunity, he done well, both at Brighton and Leicester. So it does confuse me a little bit, I'll be honest. And I do feel like his ceiling is hugely high. So yeah, I would be gutted if he was to leave, especially on a permanent. I agree with you. I think a loan would be amazing. Another season out on loan, and then see where he's at. If he has a fantastic season, you're like, well, he has to break into the team. But then, who do you drop? Do you drop Rutter if he doesn't have a good season? Do you drop Gruder, who's next in line? There's so much competition. Like you said, out wide as well. He's not getting in ahead of Mitoma. He's not
Mm.
getting ahead of Minter. So yeah, it is a real tough one. And yeah, I don't blame Herzl, to be honest, with
It's
not
you say it quite often when you're
keeping
annoyed at
them.
how we stockpile these players, and it's obviously this is what happens when you do stockpile them because players that you think are really talented, you have to kind of shift because they're going to want permanent first team game time, and we can't offer them all that,
Yeah,
unfortunately. I just wanted to quickly
yeah, yeah.
mention on James Milner thing. I know someone in the comments, Rod, has just mentioned it, and I wanted to mention it, but never did because it was quite a Jota. James Milner is 16 Premier League appearances from breaking the all-time record, 15 to equal Gareth Barry. Can you see him making 16 appearances for us this season in the Premier League?
Yeah, that's a lot. Unless he comes off the bench, let's say like we're 1-0 up and we just need to, shut the game down, potentially. But how many times are we getting in that position? Probably not
And
many.
how often is he going to be remaining fit enough to even be on the bench?
Well,
If he can
this is
stay
the big
fit, then
question.
potentially, Maz, potentially. 'Cause
Yeah,
38 games,
potentially. Yeah, potentially.
38
Yeah,
games in a
exactly.
season. You never know.
Yeah, 15 of those, like I said, come on as a sub when the game's 1-0, maybe 2-1. You just need someone in there just to, put a few challenges in and do the hard work of running up and down the pitch. Yeah, good option.
And
But yeah, like you
maybe,
say, will he be fit enough? That's the big question.
maybe I'm reading into this too much, but as the relationship that him and Fabian have obviously got, will Fabian maybe have a keen eye to try and make sure that does happen, or have a even more of a bigger interest in making sure James Milner does do that as a favour to him, or as like a nice gesture maybe. So you never know.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then a good question from our good friend Al. He has asked, which player do you want to see play against Wolfsburg that we haven't seen feature yet? Which is a great question. I mean, mine are obvious, but yeah, go on, Ben, you start.
Yeah, it's between the two Greek lads and Tommy Watson. Maybe
Mm.
maybe Tommy Watson. Seeing as he's got that. But then I'm saying, talking about the number 9. Do I want to see what Simas is like
Yeah,
against
I
that
do want to.
opposition?
Yeah,
I think maybe that's probably more important,
exactly.
finding out how good our backup strikers are, because at the moment we only know it's Welbeck, and that's literally it.
Mm.
Unless we see Rutter as a number 9 replacement as well, and then you can have someone else playing as a 10. That's obviously not a bad shout, but you'd rather see, as I'm saying, they like to see Balbus, you'd rather see Rutter in a 10, I think, and then another striker. So, yeah, maybe Simas or Kostulas, one of them, but I'll probably be leaning more towards Simas, seeing as he's now got the number 9 shirt.
Yeah, no, yeah, same as answers as you. I mean, I think the Greek boys. It'll be great to see what kind of level they're at. Again, I've seen Tommy Watson a couple of times, so I sort of have a rough idea of what he's about. But again, with the Castellas and Simas, I've never seen them play. So yeah, really excited to see how they get on. If they do feature again, we don't know if they will or not because they're both coming back from injuries last season. So we don't know whether we will see them against Wolfsburg. But if there was, those two are those guys to do it. Now, Ben, shall we get on to the fan questions?
Yes.
We've got
Do you want
quite
me
a
to go for
few.
him? Or are you going for him?
Oh yeah, I got them. All right, cool. So we have got quite a lot here. So let me go through them. Does Coppola? We've answered a few of these, but we'll sort of like brush through them if we need to. So Aston _06 said, "Does Coppola thrive with the new set piece coach?" I think we both agree that he probably will.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
He's a big
not to
lad, so
jinx
yeah,
things.
fingers crossed. We have already spoken
Yeah.
about that, but yeah,
I think the
that'd be
defence
ideal.
in general, hopefully, will not just Coppola. Hopefully, Coppola and Van Hecke and Dunk and Buscagli, whoever starts, yeah, they all thrive under the new set piece coach. Fingers crossed. This is a good one. Andy Dr. Emma19 said, "If you could make one marquee signing for Brighton this season, who would it be and why?"
I mean, it's too late now, but I really did like the idea of the Lap would have been quite a good fit for Brighton. I think that would have been as a striker. I still, as much as I love Danny Welbeck, I still feel the marquee signing for us needs to be a striker. I'd love to go into the season knowing we've got a solid number 9 that's going to get you minimum 10 goals. Who is that striker though? I mean, we had this conversation in the last live actually, because we were talking about what Evan Ferguson's price would be in a market of strikers that is so small now. We used to have such unbelievable number 9s across the board in every Premier League team and most big teams, but nowadays it's scarce to find a good number 9. So yeah, number 9 would be my marquee signing, but who it is, Maz, I have no idea. I wouldn't even be able to begin to tell you a name, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a tough one to because I feel like we're now covered pretty much in all areas that I would have wanted at the beginning of the transfer window. Obviously, for me, a centre back was huge, and we've signed 2 of them, so that's sort of my marquee sign. But I suppose when they hear marquee, I suppose that means like a big name signing,
Yeah.
right? As in one that will
Let us
probably
know in the
cost you 40,
comments on
50 million.
YouTube as well.
Yeah, I was just
who
about to
you
say,
think.
everyone in the chat, let us know who you use because I think we and Ben are struggling here. So everyone in the chat, let us know who your marquee signing would be and why, and we'll shout out
Maz,
a
would
few
you
of them.
take
All right,
would you take
go on.
outcast Gabriel Jesus at Brighton Hove Albion?
No, purely because I think he didn't come out and say like he's not a striker or something, or he doesn't
Yeah, his
finish.
best ability isn't finishing. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That is not what I want to hear. That is not
Good
what
for
I
a
want to hear
striker.
from my guy up front. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is not what I want to hear. So no, look, again, I think his wages will be way too high, and I wouldn't want that to disrupt the sort of like the, the hierarchy we've got. And I just don't think he's that good. Like, he's a fantastic dribbler of the ball, but again, finishing not great, and then yeah, not much really. Dragon
Someone
Talks
said,
Football said, "Hear me out, Sterling." Yeah, I'm
"Oh,
not hearing you out, Dragon Talks Football. So.
what about like a Tammy Abraham?
Conversation.
I feel like will he come back to the Prem potentially from this
Again,
area?
that for me that doesn't scream marquee. Like, that would just be a bang average signing, and I'd be like, oh, meh. I just can't see him doing well.
Mm.
Don't know why. But anyway, keep sending yours in.
Not
Right,
Sterling.
next one, Ben. Yeah, not Sterling. This is a good one. Harry J. Friend said, "Which of our current players do you see still being in our starting 11 in 5 seasons' time?" Now that's a long time to look forward to.
In Brighton Hove Albion
and
years, that's not a lot.
No, and also, can I just answer the question? None of them, because our model does not allow players to stay for 5 years. That is just
No,
unfortunately
exactly.
the harsh truth of it. But if there was one player from our starting 11 that I could see, I mean, I would have said Van Hecke
This is how
until
you
last
think
week.
of it. You got to think about is like they're good, they're solid, but they're not good enough to leave. Do you know what I mean? They're always going to be at our level. Actually, no. The obvious one you'd say Jack Hinchwood probably will still be here in 5 years,
Yeah, Daniel Taylor literally just said it.
Has he? Unless I think, my career path of Hinchwood is he breaks into England this year, and he's just going to get better and better and better, which does mean eventually a big team probably will come knocking. And I know
Yeah.
Jack's a very loyal man, but unfortunately, if a team, as I don't know who would come in, let's say for example a City come in, for example, just because he's got that English tax as well, then we can't. Jack's not going to turn it down, and we got to respect that that's the career path that Jack deserves, and he's got to move on and better himself. So, will Jack even be here in 5 years, man? That's the big question mark.
I feel like he's the kind of guy very much similar to Dunk, where his love of the club and the love of his roots, because he grew up in is it Worthing? I think he's from.
Yeah.
Grew up in Worthing, and then he's been at Brighton his whole life. Also, as well, the way players, the staff as well look after him. Like, they all. I saw that video when he came back from the under-21s, and Herzl was like, you've been here from like day dot, and everyone like has helped you develop the player you've become. I don't know. I just feel like he has got that special connection with the club, which sometimes is unbreakable with that bond that you have with the club. And sometimes you've seen players that have stayed loyal throughout their careers. And if there was anyone I had to choose, yeah, definitely Jack Hinchwood. It would be my pick. But yeah, apart from that, I can't see anyone else
I'm
staying
looking at
5
that
years.
squad list again. I'm thinking I'm struggling here. I'm really
Yeah,
struggling.
no, genuinely.
Gridder's not
I
going
don't
to be
think
here in
there's
5
anyone.
years because he's going to be really, really good. Someone said cash in. He'll still be here.
Fuck's sake.
Who said he? Someone said Benny signed for Besiktas. Who said? Oh, what? Tammy Abraham's gone to Besiktas.
Oh, yeah, he's not in Syria anymore, you silly boy.
Jesus
Thanks for that.
Christ. Yeah,
Thanks
cheers
for that, AI Al.
Yeah, come to me, AI.
Yeah,
Getting
Daniel
beat
makes a
by
really
a
good point.
robot.
Even in 5 years, Jack Hinch would only be 26. So again, yeah, he's probably hitting his peak at that point, which is actually mental, isn't it? How young he is and how much he's still developing and getting better. So yeah, for me, he'll be the only player. What's
Good
the
question.
next one?
Very good question.
Yeah, great question. Great question. So big
Someone
shout
said
out
Jason
to Harry
still.
J.
AI
friend.
said still.
He's actually, I mean, it's not a terrible shout to be fair, but he'll be like 39,
Coach.
40 maybe.
He'll be a coach.
Right, next question, Ben. And this is a bit of a weird one, but Benja Morrison said, should Verbruggen be dropped this season? I mean, I don't know who for, because literally, our keepers will all gone.
Are you going to be doing a job? Are you good in goal?
Literally. Interestingly, actually, quickly on Verbruggen, actually, there was a really interesting part with Herzler talking about the Brighton coach. So, I don't know if you guys know, but Jack Stern departed the club, and we've appointed a guy called Yele Ten Ruwala, who used to be at Leicester, Burnley, and Manchester United. And Herzler describes him as an outstanding coach, and he wants him to challenge Bart Verbruggen. So he said, so we changed the goalkeeper situation because I think of several reasons. For me, it's more the key reason was that we thought we needed refreshment. We needed a refreshment vocally. A refreshment for the players, for the goalkeepers, for the whole department. So that was the decision we made as a club, and therefore we brought Yele in. I'm pleased that we get someone who already has worked with Bart at Anderlecht. So he worked with Bart Verbruggen at Anderlecht. And I'm sure he will challenge Bart and Jason and Carl Rushworth and all the other goalkeepers in a different way. And I think that's something I had a feeling we needed for the goalkeepers in the department. So I find that really interesting because is he basically brought this guy in pretty much specifically for Verbruggen? Because he's saying he's worked with him at Anderlecht. He's worked with him at Anderlecht and he's brought him in saying that he wants to challenge Verbruggen by using this coach in that manner.
But
So
what's
I found that
challenging
really,
if you're
really
bringing
interesting.
in someone that's going to prefer Verbruggen anyway? If someone that's more biased to him?
Well, that might not be the case. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. Is like maybe this coach was really hard on him. He made him better. He was like, he was like a positive impact on his career at Anderlecht, and sort of got him to the point where he was. And maybe him coming back is going to then spur Verbruggen on to get better and get better. So maybe it might not be the case, but that's how I interpreted it. So I thought that was quite interesting, especially with Herzler's comments on it as well. So yeah. And then final couple. Oh yeah, final one actually because we covered all the others. Why have the Greek guys not been included in pre-season? I suppose that
I think they're just not ready, like fitness-wise, are they?
Yeah,
I think injuries and fitness.
No, yeah, they both had injuries at the back end of last season, so I think they are just being slowly reintroduced. I think to answer your question, it is injuries, and that's why we've not seen them yet. So hopefully we'll see them against Wolfsburg. But yeah, thanks guys. Really appreciate everyone sending their questions. Oh, we actually had a couple more actually from Twitter. Bear with me. I've completely forgot about that. I thought we were done.
Whilst you're doing that, Doom Ultima says that when not taking players, one of the 2 10s in the back, in a back three. Oh right, if we do play a back three and be a backup to Matoma on the left. Okay, I think he's too good to sell. I do agree that he's too good to sell. I do agree with that. And he had a little good cameo as well in pre-season. He looks like he does press really well, which is something that we need. So it shows that he's still trying, and it doesn't mean that he's just giving up and he just wants out. So I know there's definitely still a player there, and I really does hope he stays.
Yeah, no, 100%. Right, final 3 questions, and also if you want any questions answering quickly before we finish, put them in the chat now so we can go through them and then answer them if we can. So first question, Ben. Which player do you think surprisingly may go out on loan?
Surprisingly may go out on loan. I don't know if
because we do need to thin out the squad. To be fair, like we have got a very very big squad, so players do need to go.
Castulas, maybe he just suddenly goes out on loan. Maybe I can see
that would be a huge surprise. I mean that's a great shout. To be fair, I like that for an answer.
That could be the surprise one.
So we have Simas as the backup to Welbeck.
Yeah, pretty much. But then again that leaves pretty light up front, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, true. I don't hate it. I can't see it happening, but I don't hate it. I think that's a very valid surprise loan, which answers the question. So,
but then it's hard. There's not really any surprises. The only you look at the players that have got. You think of the Encisos, the Sarmientos. Obviously, Enciso's injured, but Sarmiento probably won't be going out on loan. He'll probably going out on a perm. So that's probably quite a difficult question for some reason. I can't really think about who would be a surprise. Who would yours be?
Yeah, I mean, maybe Gruder. I'll be really shocked if he was to go out.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, that's a very good shout.
But again, because of the competition in this position, it could happen, you know. But I would be very shocked. I'll be very surprised.
Such a good end to the season.
Exactly. So I'll be hugely shocked by that. But yeah, you never know. We do need to start trimming down the squad. Right, final 2 questions, Ben. Unless people throw theirs in the chat. Are we cooked? Mini Raptor God, have you not been in this stream the whole time? Is Van Hecke leaving? We pretty much covered that for 20 minutes, but yeah, if you rewind and go back, we do cover that in length. So yeah, just I don't know if you can rewind yet.
Yeah, right at the beginning.
At some point you will be able to. Right, Ben, this is a good one. Rate the new 2. You'll like this one. Rate the 2 new kits out of 10 separately. And you're on mute.
Sorry, I think it said I was reconnecting then, so hopefully I'm still here if you can still hear me. What would I rate them? I'd rate I've got the purple one behind me actually, so I can have a look at it. I rate it a solid 8 out of 10. Really, that one is a very very nice kit. The badge in the middle, Lovely colour, surprising colour.
Yeah,
Haven't really seen
centre
that too
badge.
much. And then the home kit is growing on me for sure. I mean, the professional one, or what do they call it? The in-game kit, the match day kit, the one that's a lot more
Yes.
skin
Yeah,
tight,
yeah,
looks
yeah.
a lot
It's
better.
so different, isn't it?
I remember I saw Boscagli wearing it when he was announced, and it looked so much better than your average Joe putting it on. So
Yeah, because it's got
yeah,
the little the little embroidery, hasn't it, as
yeah, it's
well?
got more embroidery, and
Which
it's
is
just
a
looks a
nice
little bit
added
tighter. So,
added
and I
to
like the
it.
colour. I like the hyper tick. So yeah, I mean, then I'll probably give that probably an 8 as well. Actually, yeah, both 8s.
Nice. Yeah, I was going
Two
to go
fat
sort of similar.
ladies,
I'm going to
88.
go.
Is that fat ladies?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. But I'm going to go 7 for the away kit, and then I'm going to go 8 for the home kit, just because it's the classic, isn't it? And I've got 2 of them as well. So.
Wait, you said 7 for the away.
Yeah, 7. Yeah,
Interesting.
just because I haven't really seen it properly, like
Yeah.
in the flesh. I know you've got it, so and also you did rock it, to be fair. So I'll bump up to 7.5.
Come on.
So
Cheers,
yeah, that was that.
The
So yeah,
post
7.5 for me,
glistening.
8, and yours is 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8.
Yeah,
Lots
it's
of
2
eights.
fat ladies as well, for anyone wondering in the chat.
I don't think they were, but thanks for the clarification. Right, final question, Ben, from our fans, and this is from Anfield Road 96, our good mate Wilson. He said, with no European distraction, how high up do you think Brighton can finish in the league this season? So, I think, personally, we're going to have a big season. I don't know why. I'm strangely super confident. I just got this really good feeling about this season. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But I think we might finish 6th. I said it.
That
Come
is
at me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe 6th as well. I have to agree on that. I'm looking at teams. Villa haven't really improved too much this window. I think they've got a lot of financial troubles.
They just signed that Gessamand, whatever his name is.
Pardon?
Yeah, I can't remember his name now. I can't remember his name. The guy from Nice.
Right.
That we were I think we were like looking at him or something. But
Never heard of him, so not really too fast. Forest, I think, lost. Oh no, they've winless in 5. They lost to Birmingham. They drew a couple games. They've lost 3 and drawn 2, so that's pretty mental. Big game is just, I think, that opening match though, Maz, against Fulham. We historically don't do well against Fulham, so that would be a big tell.
we did get the win last season though, Ben. So
Yeah, true, but I mean, I think I went to the away game and we were abysmal, so not confident ever going against Fulham. But to answer the question, yeah, without Europe distracting us, and also let's just throw in injuries are kind to us. There's no reason why we can't get 6th. If you look at how well we done last year, Herzer's first season, lots of our players' first season, they're all going to be experienced with 1 extra year under their belt. They've glued a little bit more. I feel like we've improved the team despite losing Jan Pedro. So yeah,
agreed.
I'm confident, and if we can finish how we did last season and improve that just a little bit, set piece coach, why not 6th?
yeah, love it. Positivity, boys. Positivity in the chat. W's in the chat. Dubs in the chat.
Yeah, Ryan Gloria makes a good point. Actually, we'll finish on that. If we didn't bottle Leeds last season, we would have been around 6th. And that's so true. There were so many games that we dropped
facts.
points, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone could see that. And also as well, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, just quickly, Doom Ultimate has said that we should go for Promise David, which from USG. He scored 23 goals and 5 assists, which is a great shout, to be fair. I actually, funny enough, watched that. I watched that video. I don't know if you've seen it, but basically he got he was like through on goal and then some guy like ripped his t-shirt. I don't know if you've seen that. It was like it was quite like a viral clip. But yeah, he actually looks quite decent, to be fair. It looks like a really, really strong, good, different profile to what we've got. Yeah, he's Canadian. Yeah, he's a very different profile to what we've got already. So yeah, that's actually not a bad shout from Doom Ultimate.
Is he related to
I just want to read out a couple of comments. David, oh yeah, maybe, don't know. I'm sure the chat will tell us at some point. But I did just quickly want to mention a couple of comments because I thought they were quite funny. Someone said, with Luke Link's sudden retirement from vlogging, is there any chance of Social Boys releasing an Albion love song? Now, Daniel Taylor, we can confirm we will not be doing a Christmas. Yeah, first of all, no love songs. Second of all, potentially a Christmas single we could have done. But again,
we could do that.
Probably not going to happen. Yeah, I'm assuming Jack's pretty good at singing. I'm not great. Ben could probably hit a high note or two.
I'm
Loves his
very good at
Justin
karaoke.
Timberlake.
Yeah, Senora.
Very
That's said
good.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, potentially a Christmas song, but no love songs in Luke Lynx's absence. And then another Rodders has said, "We need new bloggers from daily match days now that Luke Lynx has left. Hope some new fans take on the mantle." So yeah, if anyone out there's watching and
Yeah.
is an aspiring content creator, go and do it. Do some match day content. It's not really our vibe. I mean, we could do it, but I'm not a massive fan of it personally.
Yeah.
Just in terms of
We I like to drink before games, and I don't think that'll be
yeah,
possible.
and also
Doing
just
both.
enjoying the game as well. Like
Yeah.
having to sort of commentate on it during, like, it's not really for me. But yeah,
Mm.
I think it's a fantastic thing, and like someone's mentioned, it's a good opportunity for people. So yeah, that match day vlogs. If anyone's out there doing them, or wants to do them, go do
And
it.
also,
Just
good
go
luck
do
to
it.
Luke Links, and fair play to
Yes.
you know to moving on in his
Yeah,
career.
for sure.
Good luck to him.
Yeah, yeah. No, 100%. For some reason, someone said Jack Albion body cam footage. Don't know what that means, but
On holiday or
yeah, Phoenix Buckery. I don't know how to say your name, but yeah, very good shout. We are really close to 6K subscribers, so please,
Shoo.
please, please, if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe. Please like this video. Please share it.
All right,
Please
Sabrina
do all that
Carpenter.
good stuff because. Because yeah, it does really, really mean a lot to us, and we really do appreciate everyone. Like even everyone in the chat now. Like yeah, it's amazing to see you lot supporting us and getting involved. So yeah, big love to everyone. Big shout out to Al, who's our number one commenter, BFPL second, and who's third? Ryan Gloria. So big up you lot, and big up
Also,
everyone else in the chat as well.
I
Legends.
just restarted the Seagulls Social FPL League, so if you were in it last year, you'll be automatically added into that. So I'll be doing
Love
a
that, man.
post on socials about rejoining that very soon. So stay tuned.
Love it. Stay tuned. All right, guys. Well, listen. Again, massive, massive shout out to everyone involved. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. All that good stuff. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want us to see us do this again, because we do quite enjoy them actually, don't we, Ben?
Yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah, they're always fun. Good fun getting you lot involved, especially AI Al, who is always here. Big shout out to you. And yeah, if you want to see us do it again, please let us know. Again, keep sending on your questions. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, big shout out to everyone. Much love. Peace out. A-Town down.
Peace. Ow. I've said ow instead of ow as well.